Oh, love, forbidden kisses, hidden from view, love for me, my love for you. Mama, Papa.
I know some will say a light's gone out, and all we have left of Robert are the memories. I choose to believe something else. I choose to believe that the light of a soul lasts forever. And Robert's light will always be shining to brighten the way for me and for all of us. We'll hear his voice in others' words. We'll see his spirit in others' eyes. And we will know his story through our stories. He'll live on in my life and in the lives of all of us here today. Thank you, Robert.
Ken, I'm sorry for your loss. I'm sure John and Robert were looking down from heaven and smiling at your words.
Thanks, Pastor. Do you have a minute before the lunch?
Oh yeah, the pilot light was out on the oven this morning, so the hot dish got started late. Betty said, 11:15, and they can't start without my blessing anyway. What's troubling you?
Well, you know, Robert lived alone all these years after John died. And I always looked in on him, you know, how he and Robert helped take care of my parents. Even in the hospital, Robert asked me to stay with him. He didn't want to be alone. I left to get some dinner and it was late. He was sleeping. That's when he passed. The one thing he asked me, and he was alone.
Oh, Ken, that's a heavy burden, but rest easy. Robert was not alone. You know, he was surrounded by light and love, and John was reaching out to bring him home.
You know, I found something packing up his things in our family. We never talked about it, but I'm kind of wondering, were he and John together? You know, a couple?
I would say they were everything your parents were to each other. And everyone needs someone to cook dinner for.
But they had to hide it, didn't they?
It was a different time. But in their way, they helped me understand that loving, committed couples can take more forms than I'd been taught. I've got something to show you. I scheduled this at the same time as the funeral. I thought John and Robert would like to see both.
Hello, I'm Linda, and someday I want the freedom to stand up here with my partner, Sue, hold her hand, gaze into her eyes, and be legally married. So thank you for coming to show your support. You know what we want, the freedom to attain that American dream, a home, a family, helping our neighbors, going to work, celebrating Fridays, backyard barbecues, and growing old with someone we love. And marriage says we are family like no other word. But you know all that. That's why you're here, because you already believe in the freedom of marriage for all. So I'm hoping today you'll commit to do something more than voting no in November. We all need to act because this amendment has already been added to 30 state constitutions in our country. It has never been defeated. I want Minnesota to be the first state to stand up for the freedom to marry. Will you unite with me to be a proud Minnesotan?
Yes.
It's so simple. We all just need to have conversations with the people we see in our everyday lives. You might feel unsure or uncomfortable, but that's why I'm here, to give you confidence to start those conversations. Think about taking a conversational journey from heart to heart. What does that mean? Speak from your heart. Listen with your heart. You don't have to be an expert. You don't have to change anyone's mind. It's enough just to share stories about why marriage matters to you and the people you care for in your life. A good way to start a conversation is by asking, how do you feel about the marriage amendment? A lot of conversations start out with people being confused about what does a yes or no vote mean, and would same-sex marriage be legal? So let me shed some light. On November 6th, a question on the ballot will ask, shall the Minnesota Constitution be amended to provide that only a union of one man and one woman shall be recognized as a marriage in Minnesota? Voting yes means that you think marriage should only be between a man and a woman. It means changing our state constitution. Voting no means that you support the possibility of same-sex couples having the freedom to get married in the future of our constitution remains the same. A no vote does not mean marriage will be legal for same-sex couples. It just leaves the option open for voters to decide later. Those are the facts people should know. And it's also important to have conversations about why marriage matters. When we talk about why marriage matters most, Minnesotans understand that the freedom to marry should not be limited or withheld from other Minnesotans. I deserve the freedom to be recognized as a person who feels joy and sorrow, who has hopes and dreams, who loves and is loved, and who is committed to experiencing all of these things with the only person I can imagine, my wonderful partner, Sue. You know I've been having the same dream every night for over a week now. I see a house with a white picket fence and kids playing in the yard. And along that fence are lilies in every color of the rainbow. And while I look, their colors grow more and more vibrant. Do you know what lilies signify in a dream? I didn't, so I looked it up. It means the time is right to act. I've been dreaming of lilies, and the time is right to act for all of us. Take action, have conversations. With all of us united, we can make a difference and live in freedom.
Don't limit the freedom of religion.
Don't limit the freedom of individuals.
Don't limit the freedom of future generations. Go talk about freedom. Heart to heart, unite with me. Go talk about freedom, and hope will set us free.
Vote no in November. Where are you going?
Oh, to watch the game.
Oh, hold on. What about lunch?
I just grabbed some bars, but I gotta go.
Now, hold on. I just gave the eulogy. Can you slow down so I can talk to you about something?
Yeah, Dad. What is it?
So, who are you watching the game with?
That's what you wanted to talk to me about?
No. You know, I'm wondering what you think about the marriage amendment.
Oh, I'm voting no. That's not even a question. I think people should be free to love and marry whoever they want.
That was easy. See why I started with him.
Dad, you know John and Robert were a couple, right?
Yeah. I'm just kind of figuring that out for sure. You know, they were both World War II vets, Air Force, like your grandpa. They risked their lives, fought for the freedom we have today, and it frustrates me that these great men, these heroes, didn't have the same individual freedoms that I do. Our Constitution was created to protect, not deny individual freedoms. I realize how much voting no would have mattered to John and Robert. Say, you know the most important thing you can do to help defeat the amendment? Have conversations with the people every day.
Well, I don't know. I'm not really an expert on the issue.
That's the thing. You don't need to be an expert, and you don't have to try to change anyone's mind. It's just enough to share stories about why marriage matters to you and the people that you care about in your life. Speak from your heart and listen with your heart.
So who have you had heart-to-hearts with?
Well, you're my first try. I'll talk to your mom and maybe your aunt.
Oh, Aunt Helen? I don't know, Dad. You could start a family feud. She's never going to change her mind.
I think I could just start the conversation and tell her why I think everyone deserves the freedom to marriage.
Well, you know, since she used to be a teacher, maybe you could, maybe she would have compassion for young people who were bullied because they're gay. You could tell her about a student I have in class. His mom went to talk with the principal.
Hello, Sarah. Thank you for coming to see me. What can I do for you?
Spare me the formalities. You sent Dave home for wearing a Vote No t-shirt?
It's a violation of our dress code. It contained objectionable content and was disrupting the learning process.
This is unbelievable. This is the one thing Dave has in his life right now that gives him hope for the future. He is bullied every single day of his life in this school. And when he gets home, it's online bullying. And now politicians bully him by proposing this marriage amendment. And you sanction this bullying by sending him home for wearing something that gives him hope.
Let's not get worked up here. I sent him home for his own good. I know his history with bullying here. Wearing that shirt was just making him a target.
So you're telling me it's my son's fault that he's being bullied? Have you even disciplined anyone?
There was no specific incident that warranted disciplinary action.
He comes to school fearful every day, and you don't seem the least bit concerned with protecting him. How is he supposed to have an equal opportunity to education when he doesn't feel safe here? Freedom in this country means freedom for all, not some. He should have the freedom to an education. He should have the freedom to marry. He should have the freedom of speech to express his hope for his future.
Sarah, I understand you're worried about your son's safety. But kids will be kids. If he ignores the bullying and leaves that shirt at home, things will get better.
Mr. Smith, you have 2 daughters in elementary school, right? I want what every parent wants for their child. We're no different. I want Dave to be happy. I want him to be healthy. I want him to find love and someone to spend the rest of his life with, so that when I'm not around, someone is there to take care of him. Are we so different?
No.
I'm scared for my son's life. Have you ever been truly scared for your daughter's life?
No.
20% of gay teens attempt suicide. If your daughters were in that group, wouldn't you be scared? I'm afraid if this bullying continues, it'll push him over the edge. Instead of punishing my son for the one thing that gives him hope, why not use this amendment as a teachable moment, current events, a way to have a discussion about what freedom means in our country and our political system?
Please, Sarah, I understand your love and concern for your son. And I'm happy he's found something he's passionate about. But we're a public institution. And this is far too controversial of a topic to discuss in school. Besides, there are a lot of people in this school who want to protect the definition of marriage as one man and one woman.
Mr. Smith, I imagine there are also a lot of people in this school who want to protect the freedom of future generations. Can you imagine some of those people who want to protect the definition of marriage, voting yes, and then finding out that their child or grandchild is gay, and that they have denied them the freedom to marry the person they love? Who would want to limit the freedom of children who don't even know who they are yet?
Go talk about freedom. Heart unite with me. Go talk about freedom, and all will set us free.
Don't limit the freedom of future generations.
Vote no in November.
Have you had lunch yet? I've got to get that recipe from Helen.
Grapes and chicken salad. Numb. Say, I'm gonna get these flowers loaded up. There's a wedding service here this afternoon, so we can't leave them here.
All right. Actually, wait, I have a question for you.
Yeah? And then after the flowers, I need help with the dishes. If you want lunch, you better go get at it because they're starting to clean up.
I was wondering what you think about the...
Well, what is it? I suppose you could load the flowers up and I could go help with the dishes. I suppose you don't want to do the dishes.
Do you remember all the weddings we went to that John and Robert were also at?
Well, of course. I remember all the lilies they brought for Mike's wedding.
You know, I've been wondering how they must have felt celebrating a moment for others that they could never legally have. It must have been hurtful in so many ways.
What do you mean?
Well, have you thought about how you will vote on the marriage amendment this fall?
Yeah, I haven't really thought about it. Don't you think it would kind of minimize our marriage? Civil unions are probably enough. Did John and Robert have a civil union?
I don't think they did. But I know I wouldn't want to trade our marriage for a civil union. Marriage is marriage. And I think all committed couples should have the freedom to marry the person they love. That's a golden rule, right? Treat others as you would like to be treated.
Well, I always thought civil unions were the same as marriage, but for gay couples.
You know, not really. Not having a legally recognized marriage impacts same-sex couples in so many ways we don't realize. Because we have all the protections of the marriage. I just met a woman who moved back here from Norway to be closer to her mother who's ill. She's married to a Norwegian woman, but their marriage isn't recognized here.
I'm home,
I'm in the kitchen doing the dishes you forgot to do last night.
and I'm going to pay the bills. We don't earn enough money to pay.
What do you mean?
$8,000 from our lawyer? What is all this?
You know, all those papers I had you sign. Your will, tax stuff, insurance, financial arrangements, power of attorney. I want to make sure we have everything in place before our baby comes.
And then we'll have the adoption fees for me to adopt our baby that you give birth to. Where's all this money going to come from?
It doesn't matter. We need all of these things to protect our family.
But we're married. We have a marriage license.
From Norway, that doesn't count here.
Ugh, what is wrong with your country? It's hard enough to get by, and all this just makes life harder. I want to be married here. Married and not have to worry about all this stuff. Every day I pick up the paper and there's a headline challenging our marriage. And now people are voting on if they should make our marriage illegal. Shouldn't the government be protecting our freedoms? Marriage should be a freedom guaranteed to everyone.
Anna, can't we just enjoy our lives? Really?
I'm sorry, I'm just so stressed about money, and what if I don't get my green card? My boss is just so awful.
Is he power tripping again? We'll figure it out. We always do. Remember for our wedding, people said we couldn't sail on a pirate ship. Well, we figured out how to make it happen. And who knew we would find a baker willing to make a 7-layer rainbow marzipan cake with Lego toppers? Well, we did that too.
Yeah, that was an amazing day. All of our family and friends together just to show their love and support for our future as a couple and a family.
I'm so glad I found you.
No, I found you. But you're right. We'll make it work. We always do. And things will get better.
Go talk about freedom. Our two hearts united, we go talk about freedom, and love will set us free.
Don't limit the freedom of individuals.
Vote no in November.
Here are those lily bulbs that I dug up from Robert. I know he'd want to continue adding beauty to your life, so plant them in full sun.
Thanks, Helen. You really cared about him, didn't you? This and putting all those photos together on the bulletin board.
I just wish I would have done more when Robert was still alive. He and John did so much for our parents.
Yes, they did. and I feel like I owe them a lot. Helen, did you know that Robert and John were gay?
Well, you think just because they live together? I don't think so.
I know your church is firmly on the vote yes side, but I'm curious about how you feel about the marriage amendment.
Well, the Bible says it's a sin, and our church does not want the government sanctioning gay marriage.
Yeah, I think we both could agree that we want religious freedom in our country. That's one reason I'm voting no. There are so many interpretations of what the Bible says, and the bottom line is, do I want the government to decide how I interpret the Bible? Congregations should have the freedom to decide who can marry within their faith. Voting yes on the amendment would actually limit our religious freedom. Voting no allows religious communities to make the decision on marriage that's right for their congregation.
Well, marriage has always been between a man and a woman.
John and Robert lived their lives exactly as Mom and Dad did. Can the love that happens between two people really only happen between a man and a woman? Do you think John and Robert deserve the recognition of marriage? They were just as committed and in love as our parents. Helen, do you remember when John died?
Oh, yes, it was awful, so sudden. No one expected it.
You probably don't know what Robert had to go through when that happened. I didn't realize until recently, but a marriage certificate could have prevented a lot of pain.
Could you help me find John Thompson? I got a phone call, but I don't know what's happened.
Yes, let me see, I can help you. What is your name and relation?
Williams. Robert Williams. I'm his partner. Do you know what happened?
Why don't you take a seat?
I can't take a seat. There's something wrong, and I don't know what. Someone called but couldn't tell me. Is he okay? Where is he?
I'm sorry, I can only release information to family members.
I'm family. I'm his partner. A lifetime. I just need to know, is he okay?
I believe his sister is on the way. Please, sir, just have a seat until she gets here.
What happened? Oh, God, is he okay? Okay. Excuse me, are you married? Wouldn't you want to know about your husband? Come on, can you help me here?
Oh, Robert, I can't believe it. I'm so sorry.
Well, what happened? I don't know what happened. They won't tell me anything.
You didn't tell him? You didn't tell him? Robert, John had a heart attack. They tried to save him, but he didn't make it. Robert, he's gone.
I had no idea. That's not right. No one should be treated that way.
If same-sex couples were not denied the freedom to marriage, it wouldn't happen. That legal document makes all the difference in the world. Marriage really matters.
I never realized, I never thought about, well, anyway, we should probably just pack up these photos and what's on the back? There's something written on the back of this one. It looks like a poem. It's titled, "This Twilight." As a boy, the quiet man with silver hair had loved the mystery of the Mass, the songs and stories of his Sunday morning classes. He'd sung "This Little Light of Mine" in his clear, true voice before he reached the age of unbelonging. After that, he lived a hidden life, showing the world only a practiced portion. How is it then, this quiet man upon the bench, along the peopled path in this aching blue of twilight, takes the hand of the man who sits beside him. By his side in sickness and in health, in times of burden and of bounty. The man who in this moment does not turn or speak, but simply lays his head upon the shoulder of the one he's loved for 40 years. A light shines in them and around them, and it is good. Don't limit the freedom to marry. Vote no in November!
We are gathered together today to celebrate two people who have come together into one light, one love. From every single human being, there rises a light that reaches straight to heaven. And when two souls that are destined to be together find each other, their streams of light flow together, and a single, brighter light goes forth from their united being. Why have you decided to get married today?
I can't help.
Falling in love.
With you.
I hope you need my love, babe.
Just like I need you.
Because home is wherever.
I'm with you.
I don't know where I am.
And I don't care.
Because all you need is love.
Oh, you're a mess.
I guess that's pretty clear.
But my life would really suck.
If you weren't here.
So could I have this dance?
For the rest of my life.
For the time go by.
I won't care.
If I can be here on the street where you live.
Will you still need me?
Will you still feed me?
When I'm 64.
Hi, I'm Peg Johnson, widow of a wonderful man, mother of 4 and grandmother of 13. I volunteer for Minnesotans United by doing this with my son and daughter-in-law and with my time and with my money. And I talk and talk and talk. I will vote no in November.
My name is Aaron Jordan Peterson. I would like to marry a man someday, and I enjoy living in the theater all the time, every day. And so that's why I volunteered for Minnesotans United by doing this project, and I will vote no in November.
My name is Quentin Roth, and I am married to Jacinta Roth. I am a hockey coach, a football coach, and a proud father of 4. I donate to Minnesota United by doing things like this with my mother and my wife. And I will vote no in November.
My name is Alexa Pulliam. I'd like to be married to a man someday. I'm a student at the College of St. Scholastica. I volunteer my time to Minnesota United by having conversations with people every day, and I will vote no in November.
I am Jacinta Roth. I am married to Quentin Roth. I'm a proud mother of 4 who is always on the go. I volunteer for Minnesota United by giving my time and having conversations every day, and I will vote no in November.
My name is Tony Barrett. I'm married to Tammy Ostrander. I teach economics at the College of St. Scholastica, and I just learned that this issue is on the ballot this year. I support Minnesotans United with a financial contribution, and I will vote no in November.
My name is Emily Parr, and I'm married to Charlie Parr. I'm a perfectionist only child who likes to take it out on my beloved students here at Harbor City. I've been with this project since the beginning, and I will vote no in November.
My name is John Schmidt. I'm lucky to be married to my love, Rochelle Townsend. I'm a retired teacher. I volunteer in the office weekly at Duluth United for All Families. I have as many conversations as I can every day with the people I see about this issue. I will vote no in November. We'll all vote no in November. But just voting no is not enough to defeat this amendment. If you want to defeat this amendment, make a commitment right now to take action. Your program is filled with ways that you can take action. Please join our discussion circle after the show, or you can talk with any of us individually. First, make sure you fill out and leave the pledge form to vote no on the back of your program. Second, decide what you can commit to today. You can volunteer for Minnesotans United. Sign up after the show. You can make an additional contribution to Minnesotans United on your way out. You can get an audience together and produce this show. And last, I want you to make sure that you know all the stories you heard today were inspired by stories that were shared by people in our community. These stories happen to real people, and there are so many stories to be told. If you have a conversation with someone, they are 67% more likely to vote no. That's huge, 67%. So tell your story, tell these stories. Have heart-to-hearts with everyone you know about how important it is to vote no in November, to support the freedom of marriage. Thank you.
I can't tell you the reason why the rivers run. I can't tell you why the earth rolls round the sun. I can't tell you the reason why the sky is blue. I can't tell you why I fell in love with you. I was trying so hard to stay away, even though I came to see you every day. My intentions were just to be your friend. Ain't it funny how the river takes a bend? I can't tell you the reason why the rivers run. I can't tell you why the earth rolls round the sun. I can't tell you the reason why the sky is blue. I can't tell you why I fell in love with you. Sipping summer with a little twist of lime. We were singing songs and working overtime. I didn't know that doing that would lead to this. Was it me or was it you that stole that kiss? I can't tell you the reason why the rivers run. I can't tell you why the earth rolls round the sun. I can't tell you the reason why the sky is blue. I can't tell you why